We're going to blame Tabitha.
Blame Tabitha.
It's not really her fault, but it took a while to eat.
I'm just gonna put this right.
Sure.
No, you're good.
Do I have to get in really close? Should I jump in?
You introduce yourself.
My name is Ian Corlett. The only reason I'm here is because of her, really. But not really.
Not really.
She's the big star of the show, and I have been a guest star in My Little Pony.
Yes.
I played Silver Shill, and I think he sounded something like that. It was pretty.
He did not have an accent.
No, he has a little slight twang.
Okay.
And a little waver. Anyway, he was one of the Flim Flam Brothers lackeys who ended up being a really great guy, and I hope he comes back again and again because, I need a check. But some of you may know me, at the risk of sounding like Phil Hartman, some of you may know me from roles such as Goku from Dragon Ball Z, if you're old school. Glitch Bob from Reboot, if you're slightly around the same old school. Cheetor from Beast Wars, Transformers, and a bunch of other stuff if you want to Google me. But because it depends, like there's a lot of fans that they have different favorites. So anyway, my history is long, and then
I came along.
she came along. And over to you.
Well, my name is Claire Corlett, and I am the lovely daughter of this man right here.
She's the daughter.
And I play Sweetie Belle in Friendship, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And you may know me in other roles, such as Tiny Pteranodon in Dinosaur Train, and Stacy in Barbie and Her Sisters in a Ponytail. Yeah.
There's a pony theme.
There's a pony thing. This is your daughter.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's our brief history. Open to questions?
Actually, yes. Before I start asking you questions, Claire, I'd just like to know: was it difficult? You were the Goku from the original DBZ. Okay, I had no idea you figured it. But that's awesome. When you had to yell to go Super Saiyan, did you strain your voice?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, and I did not like it, and that's why I stopped. We were the original English dub. We did that in Vancouver. Actually, my partner at the time, Terry Klassen, who is also here, he's the voice director. We had a company that somewhat specialized in reversioning Japanese animation into English. So we would take a Japanese translated script, which would be in sort of fractured English, and when you read them, you went, "What is this?" So we would fix those scripts, and then we would also cast and recast for the role. So as a result, I ended up being Goku. Had no idea, as you guys would have had no idea at that time, that it would become this huge thing. And I just did my thing, and at that time, very, very long story short, but it's out there in the interweb, so I'll say it. It's not a secret. Our union contracts at the time were really bad when it came to dubbing, reversioning product. So there was stuff like we weren't getting paid for doing those yells. They went, no, that's a vocalization. It's got to come out of here, and so they wouldn't count it as a line because there was one way of getting paid was per line, and it wasn't a lot of dough, by anyone's measuring stick. So I just got to the point where I went, these things are taking all day to do. I mean, it's great to have the work, but I was screaming half the time, and I just went, I got other stuff to do. So as much as I'm really, really glad that I was there to sort of originate the character, because every Goku after me is sort of like a version of me, so that kind of makes me feel kind of neat. It's wow. but I just couldn't do it anymore. But I still think the phenomenon of the show and the fan culture and everything is just wow. I love it. I was also Master Roshi too. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think it was a few other guys, but
Slide that.
You're gonna have to stop there. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
okay. It's quite all right.
So for Claire, I know right now you're doing Sweetie Belle, but do you have any plans to become a long-term professional Minecraft Let's Player?
Oh, for sure. Yep. Actually, this Saturday. Wait. What is today? Today's Friday.
Yes.
Friday. So not tomorrow because I'll be here tomorrow, but the Saturday after that on my YouTube channel, I post every Saturday. And a new Let's Play for Minecraft, because I haven't done it in so long, is coming out with my brother and I. And he was very interesting during the recording, and I think that you guys will enjoy it. So
It sounded funny.
We just
well, it sounded creepy actually, because I wasn't watching; I was only hearing.
Yeah, when I edit, just full speaker. But yeah, we are uploading I am uploading next Saturday on my YouTube channel a new Minecraft Let's Play.
So Claire, Girl Club, the Cutie Art Crusaders. I'm a huge fan of the singing in the show. And I know recently, in Sweetie Belle was originally, the singing voice was voiced by Michelle Creeper. And now that's kind of switched over, I know, in songs like Hearts, Strongest Horses, you played that. So can you talk a little bit about why that was and how you kind of transitioned into doing the singing now?
Sure. The recording studio had difficulty. It's many reasons, but one of the reasons is because Michelle's voice sounded the same when they were editing, so they didn't know which line to put in the songs for which character moving their mouth, and so the editors got all confused. And then eventually they just kind of came to me and they were like, "Do you want to try again for this?" Because
Did they ever ask you if you could sing initially?
Yeah, I sang Respect, but it was terrible.
Oh.
So they were like,
Yeah, but
we don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Who else can sing Respect? Other than Aretha Franklin.
Michelle can belt that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle can.
Yeah.
That's true.
Michelle.
She's great. She's so good.
Yeah.
Not that you're not good.
Thanks, Dad. I love you.
Nice catch. Did you end up taking singing lessons because of it?
Nope.
All right.
It suddenly popped up, and I was in the recording studio, and then they just told me okay, this is good. And I'm like, so now am I? And they're like, yep. I'm like, oh. Okay, well, that just happened. Yeah, that was it. I don't think there's any other stuff to do with that.
Aquaman with Equestria Daily. When the first show was starting out, when it was all being put together, did you specifically audition for Sweetie Belle, or was there some other character that you did a test for and then eventually settled on your final role?
That's a great question. I auditioned for Sweetie Belle, and I also auditioned for Scootaloo. So, excuse me, I have a cold right now. For Scootaloo, I did kind of the same thing as Maddie, like a raspy voice. She was like a tomboy, and she was really into like sports and like being like the tough kind of pony. And then I thought I was gonna get that one because I always got roles that were like kind of tomboyish. Because when I was a 5-year-old, or I don't know, whenever I auditioned, I was not 5. I was like probably 10 or something. But I was a tomboy, and that was just that. And so I thought I was gonna get that because it was like more like me. But then Maddie got that role, and I got Sweetie Belle, and I was like, that was the one I felt the least confident in, and I still got the role, so that was pretty interesting. And when I auditioned for it, she was a singer, so I sang the Respect song, and probably didn't go over so well. But yeah, the audition, you just get a little description of what Sweetie Belle's like she's part of the Cutie Art Crusaders, gives some basic info on who she is. She has a little bit of a devil side, as some of you know, but she's also very, very sweet, and her older sister is Rarity, and kind of lays out that description for us to come up with a voice to do that. And I just kind of used my regular voice at that time and made it a tiny bit higher, and then the squeaks started coming in eventually, and yeah.
The squeaks were originally like totally uncontrolled, weren't they?
Yeah, they were just, I didn't actually plan them, really. It's just happened. And then they liked it, and you liked it, and then I kept doing it because...
So now, are they still accidental, or do you do it much more consciously?
Sometimes they're on purpose, but I would say most of the times, just when I'm like really into the character, like it'll just happen. I will be like, okay, you have to squeak on the second syllable of this line, and then everyone will be like, whoa. No, I just kind of read it just how I would think that it should sound. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Jake from Fab Equestria. As much as I think everyone in this room would probably love there to be 20 more seasons of the show, you playing a child character, being a child yourself, eventually you're gonna start growing up and your voice is gonna change. Do you do any sort of, are you looking at any sort of like coaching or techniques to sort of be able to keep that high range for this child character you're playing?
We're binding her larynx.
Oh, I hadn't told you that.
Yeah, what's supposed to
It's at night. We knock her out. I have to get up early so you don't notice any of the apparatus.
Maybe that's why I keep sleeping in a lot.
And you're really tired in the morning. Yeah.
I'm taking notes from when I was a parent now.
Look, you got to do what you got to do. My career is only, and someone's got to pay the mortgage.
Okay, well, I personally, I don't like have any like coaching. Like if I need like help with, I have an audition, I'm like, how do you do a German accent? Which never happens in an audition because I never get that. But I go to this man right here, and I say, help me right now.
And I go, oh, come on, hurry up, quicker,
Yeah.
quicker, faster, act faster.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have any coaching really, like outside of my family,
I will
or
be
outside of your office, really.
presenting a bill for that too, by the way. Like I said,
Gotta pay the mortgage.
I have a studio at home, and Claire wanders in. Usually when I'm in the middle of trying to record something myself, I have to do this, it's due tomorrow. Like, fine.
I don't walk in, no, I can hear him.
No, I mean.
That's a lie right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 video cameras just caught you lying.
Okay.
Love you.
So you kind of come from a family of voice actors and voice actresses, and is that kind of where you form your base for your job?
I guess I started when I was 5, so I guess I didn't really have like the mindset of, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up, 5-year-old self? Do you want to keep doing voice acting, or do you want to start voice acting? You want to start being a baker or like something? And I guess I didn't really have a choice. You just kind of, well, no. You probably asked me when I was 5 years old, do you want to do this? And I probably said, yep, because that's what you do.
Well, here's one story. Her brother is 2 years older than her. And one of the things that is really key with kid actors is reading. So he was 2 years advanced, and he was able to read. So he would be, 6 or 7, something like that. And he was starting to get commercial auditions, because if you can read and you're a little boy and you get that little boy high voice, you're in, there's a niche for you. So we would come home, and I would work with her brother Philip, and we would rehearse this commercial that he was, and this is all voice stuff, not TV. And I'll say this because I've said this to Philip, it's no surprise. Philip is a like a journeyman young actor. He did a really good job, but he would need to work at it. It wasn't just natural. So he'd work on the lines, and he would get it because he could read like a son of a gun. He was really good. And then Claire would hear us. I remember this one particular time. We were sitting at the dinner table after dinner. We're going through this with Philip. And then Pipsqueak here would go, let me try. And she couldn't read yet, but she could pick out the odd word, and she just got it. Like, she got the inflection very, very naturally. Whereas with Philip, I'd have to kind of go, well, try this, and go up to the end of the line and try that. And he would get it, and she reads it, and because her ear is very good. And then the flip side, so I knew we kind of had a natural here, And why stop, right? You know. So the flip side of that, though, is we're also a musical family, and just take it.
No, I know.
Just sit here and take it.
I say it all the time, so this is not child abuse.
So where Philip was not a natural, but was a journeyman, good little actor boy, and Claire was just a natural when it came to reading and hearing lines and voices and stuff. It's exactly the flip with music. Philip's a total natural. He just gets it. His ear works. He's
sit him
great.
down. You sit him down on the drum set. He doesn't need any music. He listens to a song, plays it over again, starts playing like the exact same thing. He's really, really good.
And he plays guitar and bass and keyboards, and he's just that kind of kid. And with Claire, it's a little more work. You know, she plays piano. You sing.
I do play piano. That is.
But it's a little more work. So there's the difference in the two kids. Not that we're interviewing Philip, but if he was here, it's nothing he hasn't heard before.
Yeah.
So that was your beginning. So it was just kind of natural. Like,
I didn't
and if
actually
you
know
can,
that.
if you can do it, you do it. And again, nepotism plays a role. I mean, you know, there's kids that I meet that are really talented, but they're starting from zero, and it's tough. I mean, because first thing is you got to get an agent. Then an agent has to
Gets all the material and auditions.
see your talent. Then you got to go out to auditions. Then you're sitting there with a bunch of grizzled old people like me,
That pretend to be
going.
little boys.
We wanted some kid voice. I don't know. And they may not even recognize the talent. So that kid starting from nowhere, basically Claire, you know, hopscotched over all of that and just met real producers and real people right away. So it's not that you're not talented, because you still have to be able to do the work.
Yeah.
But getting that jump start is awesome. So you're welcome.
Thanks, Dad. I'll pay you.
Another bill?
Pay the man. Okay.
All right. Hi, my name is Forrest S. J1 Studios. I have a series of related questions here, so try to bear with me. But basically, I watched a couple of your recent vlogs and interviews, and you're still in school, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you've been doing this show for like 4 years now, and would you say that more and more of your classmates and peers have become aware that like Sweetie Belle from My Little Pony is one of their classmates?
They know for sure. There's about probably 2 of them that are brownies, like semi-brownies. Like they won't go to conventions and stuff because they just don't do that. But they're like, there's one kid in my class who likes the show. Pretty sure he doesn't like watch it as much as he did like a year ago. But he still appreciates the things I do. Like for his birthday, sometimes I just get like the cast to sign something, give it to him, and he really enjoys that. And I don't do that to the other friend because he doesn't really know it. He'll make jokes about My Little Pony, which I'm sure you've all like been affected by at some point. He's like one of those kind of people, but he also likes the show at the same time, so it's really messed up.
Closet Brony.
But
What about littler kids? Like I mean, I know we're here at a Brony convention, and the demographic is not little kids.
Yeah,
But you know, the target audience is still little kids.
There's some people going into grade 7 that I know. My cousin's in grade 7 in my school, so he has like this group of friends. He's like, hey, can you sign something for my friend? Or our school's a very small school, so I know pretty much everyone from grade like 5 to older, past my grade.
Yeah, so there's nothing weird about it.
There's nothing weird if someone like comes up to me and they're like, are you Sweetie Belle? And I'm like, yep. And chances are I already kind of know them, and I at least know their name. And I don't know what else about it.
Well, I was wondering if you've had like a particular like Brony experience, either at school or elsewhere that just really astounded you.
Well, actually, so I have 2 stories now. So one is in school, when one of these kids going to grade 7. He's a really talented voice actor, actually. He became a voice actor.
Oh, Graham?
Yeah, Graham Verscheer. He's the voice of Pipsqueak. So
He's a
he
little
did the
neighbor
little
of
British
ours.
accent, and he was in the recording studio, and he's like, wow, I can't believe that I'm like here. And I'm like, yeah, man, you'll do fine, you're good. And then we recorded it, and thank you. We recorded it, and I'm like, that was a great job. You did really, really well. And I think he really enjoyed it. And that's kind of probably the most Brony-ish. And his older brother, is my brother's age, so he's like 17 now. He's kind of a Brony.
He's a Brony.
He's a Brony too.
He identifies as a Brony.
The second story is when I went to Taiwan this summer. So I was in Taipei, and I went to this restaurant to meet up with these bronies we were talking on Twitter about. I forget their names. There was 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of them, and they all ate dinner with me and my friend, who was also came from Vancouver, same as me, and we went on a flight together. He wasn't here, but I asked him if it was okay, and he said, "Yeah, sure, go for it." So I ate dinner, and I
Wasn't Sophie's
practiced.
Kelly's?
She was there. Yeah, our homestays. That's Dad. Our homestay was
I'm just
there
making
too.
sure.
But I'm just saying in a general sense, we ate dinner. And it was really great. So that's a fan experience I've had outside of
That would be,
Vancouver,
that's an
outside of-
international
Yeah,
incident.
Yeah, it is.
So it was like some Taiwanese bronies that wanted to meet up with you? Like, they were in Taiwan?
It was kind of like both.
They
like
were, yeah, they were
I
from
wanted.
Taiwan, like they were Taiwanese.
Yeah, and I asked on Twitter, where are my Taiwan bronies? Like, what area are they? Because, like, who's gonna have, I don't even know if there's a convention, but who's gonna have a convention, like, in Asia? Like, no one really, we kind of leave that part out. And probably same as Australia, like, just like, maybe there's one in
No
Australia.
one likes
but-
the Australians.
Well, there's,
It's a joke. It's a shad joke.
Cameras.
but
Screamed out in pain.
I love Australians. I love Australians,
I
okay?
actually really want to go to Australia. So.
There was one convention earlier this year, I think, in
I
Australia.
think there was.
Yeah, but I just thought, like, what an experience. Like, I may not even be back next year in the summer, so why not just, like, go for it? And I did, and I'm still alive, so it's good.
Proudest moment, did not die.
So you,
Yeah, right. As much as we would all love to think that all bronies are normal, healthy, well-adjusted people, some of us, well, aren't. I'm wondering if you have any, like, crazy brony stories, or just things that have happened to you involving meeting bronies that either just made you step back and say, okay, hold up, what?
Have you?
Not really, not yet. But
Give us time.
we're very aware. I mean, like I've been doing this for a long time. I've never been a huge fan convention guy. I don't know why exactly. It's just never been something that I.
It's because he's old.
No, well, you know, I'll tell you why. Part of it is a lot of the shows that I did, like Transformers and Beast Wars and stuff. They have a huge fan base, but it was like in the early days of the interweb. So it was not like things couldn't spread like wildfire like they do now, like just bang. So it was still sort of like, you know, a true comic book style convention where they were pretty hardcore. And I just wasn't that interested in traveling around because my kids were really young at the time and it was always a weekend and I just never really did it. But we have a very healthy respect and understanding of where that line is between, you know, fans and us. Now, having said that, I think that the bronies in general, just, I mean, they're an awfully good group.
Yeah,
You know,
the
like,
fact
I mean,
that,
there's
like, even today, they were chanting hug. Like, maybe you guys were part of this. Like, no one else will do that in a convention. No one's gonna, like, be cheering.
So I think there's a lot of peer
like,
pressure
It'll be fight.
among-
Fight.
Yeah.
You pan over to, like, I don't know, some weird cartoon. Everyone's like, fight, and then you just pan over to, like, Bronycon, and they're like, hug. So it's great. I really like it.
Yeah, and I think you guys kind of police yourselves. Like,
Yeah.
that's sort of part of what the whole thing is.
Because you know why?
So I'm not, you know, encouraging anyone to test that.
Friendships matter.
Let me be the first really bad brony. But anyway, short answer is no, we have not had problems.
So I remember last year I asked Michelle and Maddie like what they like to, if they weren't actors, essentially, what would they like to do for their career? And I'm blanking on what Maddie said. I know Michelle said she liked to go into cooking. So, you know, if you weren't an actor, what do you think you'd like to do for a potential career?
Well, I know that I'm not the best at playing football. Well, British football, like soccer, but I know I'm not the best at playing that, so I wouldn't have to say I want to be a professional football player, because I wouldn't. But I already cleared that up.
I know, but
I think I'm gonna have to copy Michelle on that, and I think I'm gonna go into cooking or baking, because I still do that on my YouTube channel. So it's just a hobby of mine I really like. And you had a question?
Yeah. Well, going back to the whole vacation thing, I know you put up a bunch of vlogs from your vacations, which are kind of hilarious and like very wild.
Thank you.
What was your kind of experience in? I know you were like all over the place, Europe and whatnot. What was your experience in the other countries, and did you have a fun time while you were there?
Yeah. You can pitch in too, because you organize it all. It's probably really stressful for you.
no, wasn't that stressful.
Oh.
I enjoyed those trips. This was a big travel year, and you're right. I really enjoyed Rome. It was about a year ago this summer. First big family trip to Europe. And Rome was phenomenal. Italy in general. Like, any excuse, just let me know. If there's something to do in Italy, I'll go.
Milan.
There's a horse.
Oh, he's watching you. Or
He's
was
watching
it
you.
me? I don't know.
All of us.
Yeah, he's got his eyes on you.
I think I don't really have a favorite city. I didn't really like Paris that much because I don't speak French, so it was really just wasn't exciting for me.
Oui.
Thanks. The one French word you know, besides poubelle and la la la.
Just keep disrespecting me.
I love you.
No, I know.
Clear that up.
What we're learning from this panel is all the VAs need their parents to be with them.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's get Tabitha's mother. All right. I don't even know if she smokes or drinks. I don't know. I don't know
Just
why I
likes
did that.
making up
No one
things.
questioned it.
I know. I think she does that when she does her own.
So I was going to move a little bit back to the show at this point. You mentioned earlier that Sweetie Belle has a little bit of a dark side. We probably all agree that Rarity is the victim of that a little bit more than others. After the last couple seasons, it seemed like they've had a lot of heart-to-heart moments. Do you feel like they've crossed a barrier there, or they're still going to butt heads in the future?
They're still gonna butt heads for sure. You always have to do that in cartoons. You gotta have one character that's really eccentric or eclectic and really like different apart from the others, and all the characters are really different from everyone. But Sweetie Belle she's got her nice side and she's got her evil side, and she can be nice with her sister, like you said. She can be really helpful or try and be helpful and be really sweet, and then she can also have the evil side, which is everyone has fights with their siblings. I have fights with my older brother because oh no, huge surprise, wah wah wah. But I don't know. Everyone has fights with their siblings. Everyone has those nice moments with their siblings, like you are like sleeping on a shoulder, or well, that sounds kind of weird, but I don't think I've ever do that. But like
So you're making all this
whatever,
up.
like a nice example of like.
She can't think of a nice
siblings.
example. That's what I'm hearing.
I love my brother, but I also hate him,
Well, that's
and that's normal. And
That's family.
yeah, that's family. So Sweetie Belle really loves Rarity, but also hates her at the same time. So that's why I think that's like a good kind of thing to have, characteristic to have.
Speaking of hating family, like, how was it growing up with your father kind of as a personal coach?
How was it? Well, I'm just saying I don't really think anything of it. I mean, okay,
I'm just listening.
you look on his IMDb page, and it's like, there's a lot, and his Wikipedia page or whatever, and there's a lot. But then, I don't know how to answer that. It's kind of weird, because I don't really know.
What's it like being in the presence of greatness 24 as your mentor?
It's terrible. No, I guess it's really nice to have that person to go to when you get an audition and you're like, man, I'm gonna have to do a German accent, which also I'll just tell you again, never happened. I don't know why I'm saying this.
I don't think you said that like
There's something
twice.
in this water. But I
Maybe it's
just
the Germans.
maybe they're coming. Hello? Hello? I don't know if you guys have watched my recent vlog, you know that my German accent is very, very good.
It's really good. Don't put yourself down, darling.
It's really good.
You're excellent.
The one sentence I know is Ich mach Wiener Schnitzel. That's all you need to survive.
You want some schnitzel?
Yeah, I like schnitzel.
I like schnitzel.
That's all you need to know
Yeah,
to
yeah.
survive. You just need to order food.
Guzum, guzum.
Speaking of like voices or accents, do you have a favorite one to do, or is it, do you think it's German?
British.
Leave the Germans out of this.
I'd say British accent because I've been working on, like, ever since I'm like, my friends, like, they try and do a British accent. I'm like, no, just stop. But I'm not saying I'm any better, but I'm just saying, like, since I was in voice acting, I was like 5 years old, I just like wanted to have another accent offhand. And I do that, like, I don't know, you're singing to yourself in the shower, you're like brushing your teeth. Sometimes you just do that. Like, I guess that's kind of the beginning.
I find accents are always better when I'm brushing my teeth.
No, okay.
Sounds exactly like a breath.
Everyday things, right? Everyday things. You're making lunch or you're doing something and you just like pop out like something, or like if I'm in the backyard and you're telling me to come in for lunch, which never happens because you don't really make lunch for me, but anyway, if he says that, like
Not my
he'll
job
open the
description.
door and he'll be like, Margaret, there, Margaret, and then like he'll want me to, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just like a thing, like some vibe we have, and I do that at
We
school
have a very,
too.
very noisy household.
We do.
Well, I was actually wondering if, let's say, Sweetie Belle were British and Scootaloo were to invite her to a very exciting slumber party. How do you think she might react?
It'd be a tea party, probably. Just have some of your tea, and I don't really know. I guess. Wait, what happened to Apple Bloom? Maybe. Oh, she's a waitress.
She's too uncouth.
She's a waitress. She's not. Apple Bloom is another type.
Well, how about the sort of opposite of favorite like voice or accent to make? I know when I was growing up, my father would always do this really heavy voice German accent. So my father's German, and when I was little, I hated it. I was scared of it. Is there maybe a voice that your father would always do that is really, you think, iconic to him? Maybe he'd be embarrassed by, or you didn't care for?
Embarrassed by. There's the angle to
All
go.
the cameras are rolling.
Okay. I really don't know. I guess.
Oddbolt.
Okay.
No, you like Oddbolt.
No, I don't think I hate any accent that he does. I think I like all of them.
No, now if you were to ask my wife, you would get a list. Well,
Of this
Go on.
one, he likes to call Oddbald. I don't know if any of you watch Ian. No?
no,
No,
most
doesn't
of you
matter.
guys are American, right?
Yeah.
There was
Oh.
a big show in Canada that I created.
Big show.
and
Oh, so big.
It was. Just
But
five
anyway.
seasons is pretty big.
Fire away.
Anyway, I created the show, and the show was called Being Ian, which was about my life because I'm not very creative. And one of the characters was a Dutchman who was a piano tuner, because our family business when I was a kid, for real, was we were in the piano business, and every piano tuner we had was from Holland for some reason. I don't know what it was. And our piano movers were Dutch. It's really weird. They were attracted to black and white or something. But this is a real voice of this street person that my dad hired as a piano tuner. He came walking in, he goes, I am Oddbolt. Actually, his name was Sven, but I changed his name to Oddbolt because I didn't want to get sued. And he sounded exactly like this. He was a grown man, and we could not believe that it was for real. And he said, I am a fully qualified piano tuner. I would like a job. So my dad hires him, and he lets him sleep in the back warehouse.
I didn't know
I come from a weird family. So we would come in the morning, be like open the store at 9 a.m. and hey, Sven, wake up! Woo! Hold on, I've got to put my pinch on! And then he'd come out and tune pianos all day, and that's one of my wife's favorite voices, because I use it all the time. She hates it.
She gets embarrassed, actually. She gets embarrassed, yeah, that's kind of weird.
But he was a super talented guy. He could play the piano and do
Unlike
a thing with
you.
his... No, I don't play
You
the
tried
piano.
to sell the piano by only playing on the black keys.
I sold lots of pianos. I didn't do that.
Okay,
Now
you did.
stop it.
Okay,
But I sold lots of
slightly
pianos, and I really don't play. But anyway, Oddball, Sven would he would sit down and he'd play jazz, and he did this thing. It was really cool. He's way better at it than me. And he would do the sound of a cornet with his, like a small trumpet with his mouth. So he'd be playing this cool jazz, and it sounded perfect. It was like, who's playing the horn? Oh, it's Sven. After he put his pants on.
So earlier, we were interviewing Andrea Libman, and she talked a little bit about how when you go in to do lines, you're standing in a room with everyone who's in the scene usually, and you get to kind of bounce back and forth with that. So do you have a favorite voice actor or voice actress to work with?
Not really. I mean, everyone has their own, like, great thing that I love about, like, working with them, but I think I've worked with Tabitha for so long. She's known me, she's like a second mother, because you work with her all the time, and every show that you kind of brought me into and like, hey, she can audition, then I would be like there, and like, let's just say I get the role and like, oh, Tabitha's here, and she's like just in everything I'm in pretty much. So I think that
She's a pretty good mentor, I'd say.
yeah, and I really like doing the Rarity and Sweetie Belle things with each other, like the little rants and the everything with each other. So I really like that bond, actually.
And I thought,
But
I thought you
everyone's-
were going to say Andrew Francis.
Huh?
Nothing. Well, the question was like, who's your favorite person that you like to work alongside?
Dad.
Oh.
That's not no.
No?
No, their dog. My dog and his dog play with each other, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're still taking notes.
Yeah, take notes. Actually, Andrew is a friend of our next door neighbor. Just by fluke.
And Ashley Ball.
And
That's
Ashley
so
Ball
weird.
is a friend of our
We're
next
just
door
like
neighbor as well.
sitting outside
we
eating
like, every
dinner,
once in a while-
and like Ashley Ball's like, hello, and then like
hi.
Andrew comes out, hello. We're like, oh hi, and then he
He keeps wanting to
dropped
come over
his-
for barbecue.
like threw his dog into our yard.
Yeah, he has a little
And then they started,
little chubby
and my
chihuahua.
dog like literally hates every other dog except for humans. So they were like playing with each other, and I wasn't there, but my mom was like, did our dog get like brainwashed or something? Why is this working out? And they were like playing with each other, and it was perfect. So we got to invite him over for some doggy play dates.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm just gonna wait for it to stop before I continue. Anyway, so we've talked a little bit about your working relationship with some of the other actresses in the show that play the main six, do the other roles in there. If there were any role of theirs that you could have a chance to take on, like let's say you were given your choice of the main six to voice, would there be anyone you would switch to, or would you just stick with what you have?
Well, I would stick with what I had, with what I have, which is Sweetie Belle, because I don't think I'm deserving of their roles. 'Cause
But in an alternate universe, do you look at those other roles
if I was
and
not
go,
in the show and I was
I
just
would do that one.
a fan, I would be like, whoa, which one should I do? It would probably be Pinkie Pie, just because, and she's not my favorite character. I don't have a favorite character. But I think it would probably have to be Pinkie Pie, just because I would love to do a recording where I had some chocolate for it, and then I just went all out onto the mic and went crazy.
Who's your favorite guest character?
Silver Show, but voiced by Ian Claire Corlett. Yeah, he's a really good voice actor, and I'm really glad that you're here with me. on this
So am I.
Nepotism, right?
Yeah.
I heard there's other things. going
Not
on.
quick. Charge him for advertising so you can, get back some of what he's billing you for.
That's a small offset. The bill is so huge. Yes.
All right. If you had your choice and you were running the show, what do you think Sweetie Belle's cutie mark should be?
I would never let her get her cutie mark.
Oh.
Well, the show's got to keep going, So and you got to keep it interesting, and that's why I completely forgot. I don't know what the episode is. Something.
Jeez.
There's just a pound on the wall. It's gonna come down.
Fireworks.
There's an episode. Please shout it out if you know it. But when Apple Bloom gets like all those cutie marks.
Cutie box.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was much more simpler than I thought it was.
Everyone.
You know who you're talking to here.
Yeah. So the cutie box episode, I didn't remember recording that at all, and I actually don't remember anything like in season 5 or like anything that I recorded until the episode comes out. I'm like, oh yeah, I recorded that. But that one, I completely forgot that I had a little part in it, but I completely forgot what it was about. And when this episode came and I was like watching it on my computer, and I was like, oh, she gets her cutie mark in this episode? I was like, what? That can't happen. No, that can't happen. And I really believed it. And then it was like the cutie box, and like they were erased, and then more came on. And as soon as the second cutie mark came on, I was like, oh. I knew that. I knew that it was fine. But I just wouldn't let her get her cutie mark because that's how cartoons work. Right?
That's cruel.
It is cruel.
Well, and on that note, actually, let's go ahead and put you on the spot. Let's say that it's not your decision. The showrunners decide, all right, we're going to finally give them their cutie marks. Where do you think the show goes for them from there? Like, how do you think their dynamic changes, or does it change at all?
Well, I think it would go exactly like how the main 6 go. So they each have their own thing. They have their episode, like Fluttershy's episode about saving those little dragon things from the wind or whatever that was. Really not good with titles. Yeah, the Breezies one, thank you. Something like that would happen. So maybe Sweetie Belle. I mean, we all really know what their talents are. Like Sweetie Belle's talent is singing. Scootaloo's talent is like something to do with woodwork or something to do with scooters or like active things. And Apple Bloom's is something to do with apples, like just like the rest of her family. Which I'm just guessing. I mean, everyone kind of knows, but I guess so. Those 3 Cutie Art Crusaders, they would just continue on like the main 6. Maybe have their own episode of something me singing in one episode and everyone yay, and then another episode where Apple Bloom creates her own farm or like something like that. Just pretty much how regular episodes go, except we have our cutie marks.
Do you have any favorite moments of just being a voice actress on the show?
I really like screaming. Screaming or shouting or crying or any loud activity towards the mic. I really like that. And I guess doing accents is really fun too. I haven't got a role with an accent yet, but it's probably more fun because
It'll be German.
it'll be the first one I get will definitely be German. But yeah.
What is your favorite evil moment for Sweetie Belle that's like already happened? You know, when she's being devious or otherwise crafty.
Or hasn't happened, we won't.
Yeah.
We're not going to complain.
I'm having a really tough time with my brain right now, the brain fart thing going on. But I think that anything where like she says, it's almost like there's a secret camera hidden. So she'll say like to Apple Bloom, like, which has never happened, but like something such as, "Oh, I'll be waiting right here when you come out," and then like like kind of in the dark shadows, which I'm pretty sure she's had a moment like that. Otherwise, I'm dreaming or my brain fart is continuing. But anything like that, I really like when you really show that opposite side, that opposite half of you. And I just really like those moments because they're just so evil. They're so nice, but in an evil way. I like them.
On that concept, would you ever like to voice a villain?
Oh, of course. I would voice anything to do with stealing cookies. Cookie stealing. You should write that down.
Cookie stealer?
Yeah, there's a show about. There's the main character's chocolate bar, and the other one is a cookie, and the other one is a ice cream sundae, and then you just.
And I'll call it Adventure Time.
Genius!
Imitation's the sincerest form of flattery.
You should ask some people you know so you can get a cameo on Adventure Time.
Do you know anyone?
No, you may be doing a cameo on, I don't know if I can talk about this really early. Do you guys know Convos with my 2-year-old? Convos with my 3-year-old on
That's not
YouTube?
a thing. Is it? For me?
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Wait, you actually, what?
I told you, I talked to, anyway.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I'm not
He
kidding.
kids a lot. You really don't know, like, oh, I brought you a cookie home from the store today. And I'm like,
Anyway.
you never know if it's
Anyway,
real.
the main guy who plays the little girl as a man is a good friend of mine, and I happened to bump into him, and I said, "Hey, you should get Claire and do some My Little Pony babysitter after the little girl or whatever." And he went, "That's great. We're starting to shoot. We'll do something." So stay tuned. I know people.
I didn't even know that. That's
Newsflash.
good news coming from your mouth, actually.
I'm surprised you didn't know this.
It usually doesn't happen. Usually it doesn't happen.
Have you got any other voice acting work recently? Just from
Recently, Barbie. Still continuing with the sisters thing. We are recording a what is it called? Why am I'm really not in the
I
zone
don't know.
today. Preview, promo, there's the word. I'm filming a promo for something, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything about it, but it's been in the can for like a really long time, and it's been re-recorded so many times.
Which one? Hang on. No, you can't talk about that one.
Someone turn up the audio.
Is it hard keeping those secrets from like your friends and?
No.
No. I mean, I tell my friends, like, oh, I'm auditioning for this thing, and it's so crazy, and I just want to tell you about it. Because I know that they're not, like, my friends they're not jerks. They're not going to go on Twitter, which, like, none of them have. They're not going to be like, my friend, I just heard something about a rumor about something. They're not going to do that, because they're nice people.
And for me,
Hopefully.
I forget
Yeah,
things
he
immediately.
just forgets things, and he's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, did I do that show?
Oh yeah, we're doing
yeah.
season 2 starting today. Oh wait, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you guys know Sly Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, so I did a promo for the feature of that, and a couple of months ago, I don't know, it's a number of months ago now, I started seeing these like Ian Corlett, Sly Cooper, Ian Corlett, Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper. What did I do, Sly Cooper? What is that? Oh, it's that huge game. Me? Movie? What? I didn't even remember recording the promo for it. I don't really know where the movie is, at what stage it is. I know it's being produced with Rainmaker. And it was kind of attached onto, I did a bunch of incidental voices for Ratchet and Clank, that feature. And tacked onto the end of it was this, oh, we want you to do this other thing. And I went, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Does it pay? Yes, okay, it pays. So I did it. And then it turned out it was this trailer for Sly Cooper that everyone goes, are you Sly? And I went, I guess I am. But all of that can change, so I'm just saying I forget. It's gone.
Yeah.
Returning back to, in regards to your getting coached somewhat by your father, how much of your dad's older work or any of his work have you seen or has helped you with your work? Like, has he ever sat you down and made you watch Beast Wars or something?
You're gonna watch this, and you're gonna like it.
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think any of your work has really made me like a better voice actor. But I don't know.
I don't think I've really ever purposely, sat them down and said, hey, you should watch this. If it pops up, I go, oh, hey, hang on, I think I'm in the, oh yeah, there I am.
Yeah. Or he'll.
And then they go, yeah, whatever.
They're like, oh wow. But
Pretty much it.
pretty much. I don't know. I don't really find you all that excited. I don't really find. I don't know what's happening.
You're in a convention full of the loveliest, kindest bronies
Yes.
on the planet, and here you are being awful.
But that's only because.
What kind of an example is that?
Comes very
He's a statement character.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No,
it's got the evil
I
side.
think something's wrong with my brain. I really don't know what happened today. I really don't know.
I know.
I'm
You're
not-
just being yourself.
No.
So, we're gonna fight. We're gonna scrap. You ready? You ready for this?
Hug, hug.
No, you know, you may have guessed, our family we joust a lot.
And we're very open too. Like
Yeah, and
the
it's
fact
not-
that you
it's-
have no hair. You have
it's
more
not-
hair. He has more hair on his legs than his head.
It's not always this, oh, sorry, am I pinching you? Sorry.
No, we're really just loose with each other.
It doesn't translate very well sometimes when we go outside the family because people think, oh, why are they being so awful to each other? And we're really not. We're just kind of, I don't know.
I get weird with you. I don't. That's.
Our son's the same way. My wife's the same way. We're trouble. We're bad people. We're show folk, and we're not raising them right. I don't know.
Parties of television.
Yeah. But what you see is what you get. We're not phony. I'll tell you that. This is pretty much it, right?
That's
Yes.
great. You have a
Yeah.
really good dynamic. I appreciate you guys.
This is a funny panel.
Yeah.
And your favorite character is?
Silver Shell.
Without the checkbook.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Later.
We should explain.
Too
We're
many inside
speaking in
jokes.
code here a little bit. Anytime you hear us say, my number, or hello,
And
or
your name.
and your name.
And your name is.
So if you happen to be, if we're signing something for him and you hear me say,
and your name is.
we've been having a little crash course in watching old Cranky Anchors episodes. And yeah, I told you, I'm not raising them right. And one of the most recent ones that we watched is Niles Standish taking a call for a receptionist. And it's just...
And your name is.
And your name is?
Dina.
Dina?
And you're calling about the
Receptionist job?
receptionist job. And your phone number, please? This makes no sense.
No, it doesn't
to you,
make any
but
sense.
Go home
But
and watch
go
the video
home,
and pee your
Google-
pants and then come back.
I've seen it.
Google Cranky Anchors, Niles Standish. We find it funny.
We find it
As
hilarious.
a matter of fact, I did a little dance mix
Yeah,
that I
he's,
forced them to listen to.
yeah, he's making like remixes, like you're some hip guy.
Hello? I never said I was hip.
No, but you're like in your office, and I can hear it upstairs because you're literally putting it full
It
blast.
was a slow day. That's yeah, like you make your brain go
He
somewhere else. So you
forced
can,
us to listen.
I did not force you.
You did.
I did email it to
You
you.
said
though.
yeah, twice actually.
Anyway.
Came in.
Never mind. That was a.
See?
Never mind.
We both have this disorder called ADD. We've never
Maybe.
been tested, but we know it.
Maybe if they had Ritalin when I was a
And
kid.
when we're together, it doesn't help because it's just worse because two people combine. Butterflies.
Shiny objects. Squirrel. Our dog has it.
There was a pig today.
Oh, have you seen the pig?
I saw the
pig is
pig and
so
I don't know why the pig is here. I'm objecting, but I have no idea why.
I know.
I know why. Because it's a flippin' cute pig.
It's a
That is an
pig.
excellent reason
That's
to
its
have a pig, but
reason. It's
And it's
raison
like-
d'etre.
If you guys want to shake my hand after, I haven't washed it.
You got
Since I
big
touched
hand?
it, it licked my
Oh,
hand.
and by the way, I tweeted out a picture, like Instagram tweet, and it says.
Hashtag Bronycon.
Bronycon
Are full of so many
pigs
pigs.
or something, just to be inflammatory.
Just watch the video and then I'll be good.
And then when you see it, you go, oh, of course, it's a cute little pig. I'm not calling you pigs, of course not. Anyway, is that anything else?
Actually, well, this is really silly, but I just looked up your profile, And I'm amazed that you were on Sonic the Hedgehog because I used to love that show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I was Coconuts.
That's right.
Coconut's the little monkey guy.
Oh, it's connected.
That was one of my favorite characters, Mr. Robotnik.
I love that guy.
I actually didn't know you were in that until someone gave me fan work that had Sweetie Belle chasing that character.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, that's my dad? Oh, thanks!
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, that's weird. I really don't know your list.
I just wanted to let you guys know that we have another session coming in 15 minutes, so if you can wrap up in 5, get your final questions in, that would be great.
Sure.
What are you looking forward to most in this con?
I am looking forward.
Oh, I know.
I mean, all the panels are, panels are gonna happen. It's,
Yeah.
well, like when you
Try to
go
sound
to,
less enthused.
when you go to conventions.
You know, panels.
When you go to conventions, it's obvious that there's gonna be a panel on something. So, and not that like I'd be in all of them, but like.
Stop now and just answer them.
Okay, but I don't want to leave anything out because then it's gonna sound weird.
Digging.
I'm very.
There's Claire. Oh, down in the bottom of this giant hole that I dug. Oh.
Ian, you can
Sorry.
stop right now,
Sorry.
and I will answer the question. I'm most excited to be judging the cosplay contest.
Awesome. Oh, nice. Cool.
So, but I also want to see if there's an opening somehow in the. So I've heard things about Minecraft, and my gamer senses in the back of my head started tingling, and I kind of want to join that. And I don't care if you're there or not. I'm gonna secretly escape with the pig, and I'm gonna go.
I might have.
The pig will be my escort.
Okay.
You could ride it there.
I want to hold it. That's so cute.
It's
I'm
a
not gonna
teeny
hit it with a
black
spoon.
Pig. It's so
I'm not gonna
cute.
hit it with a spoon. I actually like.
And it
pigs.
makes little noises.
Just not
too.
in Minecraft.
Little piggy noises. Not like that. Why wouldn't it?
It's like,
Yeah. I'm gonna go find the pig.
So I know I like to ask silly questions about potential movies. So for example, like if Sweetie Belle were in a heist film, what would you be stealing? You know, like an Ocean's 11 or something like that. She's got to steal something rare and valuable.
The answer can't be cookies.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm trying to think of another sweet, another treat. Well, she's very. She'd probably steal some potion thing to like make magic or like do something with cutie marks and like probably just I don't know. She's a trickster. She's a trickster by heart. Probably something like that. Or I'm sorry, but it might have to be cookies. It might.
So she'd break into Sugar Cube Corner in the
She'd
middle of the
break
night.
into Sugar Cube Corner and be like, "Where's the cookies?" Ding-a-ding! And then like a tumbleweed passes by.
Tarantino movie.
And she goes in and she's like, "Give me all the cookies." And then but they won't have guns because it's for
It's just a finger.
little kids watch this show. There's gotta be, no, not a finger. Oh, actually, yeah, she'll grow fingers, like in the that other Pinkie Pie episode where she grew fingers. And then
So
she'd be
that she
like,
can do that.
"Put your hands up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I need cookies."
And then someone would be like, what are hands?
Yeah, and they're like, "Where'd you get those?" What do you mean? Then there's a big explosion, then she runs out with cookies.
Best episode ever.
I know, right?
Things happen.
It's gotta happen. Tell Terry Klassen if he's gonna be on a panel. Tell him.
Terry doesn't write them.
No, but he. Oh yeah, never mind.
Smart writers.
I know,
are
there's something-
flooded by them.
Yeah, there's writers here. What's his
Josh
name?
Haber.
Josh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Yeah, he wrote. His episodes are fantastic. He wrote one in particular. He had a guest star in it.
guy. Oh,
It was so good.
Oh, it's from
What was his name?
Silver Show.
Yeah, that's it. Silver Show.
Oh yeah,
that was
that
really
voice
good.
actor was
Yeah.
really
Oh, I like that one.
You should
That was a
search
really
him up
good
on
one.
YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. It's
Yeah.
called Jerry J. Todd. You should subscribe to him because he definitely posts every day.
I do not.
Every year, you definitely post every year.
Don't check out my
No,
YouTube.
he is like
no, it's not.
You can follow him on Twitter as well. Ian James 007. You can also follow him on Facebook. Don't know what that is.
No, you can't
Name.
follow. Actually, you can't follow me on Facebook because I don't really use Facebook except for people I really, really, really know. so that's
Oh, he doesn't do that stuff.
10 people
Okay,
I went to
whatever.
school with.
What other social medias?
Instagram,
Oh, Instagram.
and
It's got Instagram.
and Facebook. Instagram and
Ian.
Instagram and Twitter, and yeah, I post lots of pictures of this thing and our dog.
Isn't your bio like, I make funny voices and children?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you. Well, I like to keep it short and sweet. So anyway, thanks very much. I think that's it, guys.
Thank you. I had a very good time here today.
Yeah, fantastic.
More excuses to make fun of my father. But I really do love him, and I'm glad that you guys were here to see our love bond.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.